When a high school recruit commits to compete at the D1 level, they almost always expect to become a national champion. It's the reason why Jamisia Ford had a breakout season at South Carolina as a freshman, because she won an NCAA title indoors in the 200-meter dash during her first season there, in a race that wasn't really that close. But years before her, Grant Holloway did the exact same thing for Florida, winning the 60 hurdles and then the 110 hurdles during his freshman season. And to prove it doesn't just happen in the SEC, you should remember that Trayvon Bromell of Baylor in the Big 12 won the NCAA title in the 100-meter dash as a freshman back in 2014. The reason why they are all technically breakout stars is because they won it all in the NCAA during their first season competing at that level. But don't get it twisted. Each of them would have rated as a 5-star recruit on SEArecruiting.com at the end of their high school careers. If you watch my channel, then you know that I rank track and field recruits across the entire nation in every event to help determine who is really the best. You can even submit your name to be considered on my national list if you think you have what it takes to go Division I. And I also offer professional advice, one-on-one, to students and families who want to get recruited. But I only bring this up because in all my time doing this, it is clear that track and field recruiting has a very serious problem that nobody seems to be talking about. And I've also told you that I actually read your comments on my videos. And one that keeps coming up is when people question why any particular athlete on the national list is not ranked as highly as they think they should be. Basically, they see an athlete who wins one major high school event, and they assume that that means they should be a 5-star recruit. I totally get it, because winning any invitational meet at the high school level is pretty hard to do. But this is still part of the problem. So I apologize in advance, because this video is a little bit different, because I actually care about you, and I care about the sport. So if you really want to go D1 in track and field, I am here to help you do that. But I really don't know any other way to pull it off without being 100% honest with you. For that reason, I'm aware that whatever I'm about to say is likely going to upset some people, and I'm willing to accept the consequences. So no matter how harsh this sounds, I'm just gonna come out and say it. To become a 5-star recruit in track and field is extremely hard to do. So hard, in fact, that it's pretty close to impossible for the thousands of recruits in any single recruiting class. Whether you're on the boys' side or the girls' side, there are literally no more than 45-star level recruits across all the events in any given recruiting class through all of the American high schools. And no matter how good you are after that, you're at best a 4-star level recruit. In fact, most of the recruits who will end up in D1 aren't even 4-star level. They're probably 3-star level or even 2-star level, which isn't so bad when you remember what I just said, that some 2-star recruits will still end up in D1. But what I am trying to say is that if you are a recruit, you are probably not as good as you think you are. And the reason is because the high school track and field community has been lied to for a very long time. And don't worry, I've got the receipts to prove it. I'm only telling you this because if D1 is really what you want, then I want to give you the secrets to pull it off. But if you don't really understand what college coaches are actually doing in recruiting and why they do it, you probably won't get anywhere near the amount of college offers that you should, and that's if you even get one at all. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. I'm aware that I now have to explain why I said that track and field recruits have been lied to for so long. It's because recruiting for our sport isn't that much different from all the others, like football and basketball, once you really get down to the details. But unlike those sports, we've never had legitimate national recruit rankings for people to go off of, at least not up until recently. And beyond that, we don't have full ride scholarships for the entire roster to give out. Just consider that for college basketball, ESPN ranks whom they believe to be the top recruits in the nation, and they make it clear who they believe are the 5-stars. In the boys class of 2024, there are literally only 19 names that they consider to be 5-star level. On the women's side, they actually told us it was 31. But in college football, a sport where they give out 85 full-ride scholarships at the FBS level. They still only said 23 boys throughout all of American high schools were 5-star recruits. That means almost nobody you know personally is a legit 5-star. Even the best player in football or basketball for most states is still a 4-star level recruit at best. But this makes sense when you consider that 5-star recruits are expected to dominate at the D1 level the moment they get on campus. If you still need more context, just consider that Sha'Carri Richardson would have been a legit 5-star recruit, the best sprinter in the class of 2018. There's no real need for me to fill you in on all that she's accomplished after that. But Kennedy Flannel was arguably the second best sprint recruit in that class. And if you don't recognize that name, it's probably because she never finished higher than 3rd in any individual event for her entire college career. Don't get me wrong, she did win a Big 12 title. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the drop-off is serious from the best 5-star recruits even to the second tier. Remember, a 5-star athlete is someone who can help a D1 team compete for a national championship immediately once they get on campus. And that is exactly what Jamezia Ford is doing right now. Interestingly enough, Shanti Jackson was technically the best sprint recruit in her class, and she was the only freshman sprinter to compete in 2 individual events at the indoor NCAAs. On the men's side, literally not one freshman made the NCAAs in the 60 or the 200-meter dash. So when I keep telling you there's really only about 45-star level recruits in all of the events in a class, it should make sense now. But without this ranking system for years, the only thing we really had to go off of was who was winning national level events through AAU, USATF, and even organized through the high schools. All 3 of those competitions were handing out All-American status to just about anybody who made an event final. If you do the math on that, that could be as many as 24 recruits in any single event. Of course, they all probably thought they were basically 5-star level, but that's not how a college coach thinks. You are not a 100-meter runner, or a shot putter, or even a long jumper. Best case scenario, you are a sprinter, a jumper, a hurdler, or a thrower. That means we're looking at what you can do across multiple events. The fewer events you are actually good at, the better you have to be in any one of them to give value to a college coach. And I'm not just saying this part because I used to be one, but college coaches are also pretty good at their jobs when it comes to recruiting. Because the truth is that scholarship money is pretty hard to come by. In fact, many D1 teams aren't even fully funded to use all the scholarships that the NCAA allows. Coaches can figure out who the best recruits are even without a 5-star ranking system to go off of. Just put yourself in the mind of Coach Mike Holloway of Florida for a moment. When he goes out to recruit, he's trying to win at the SEC level and beyond. So which recruit would you rather have? The one who's ranked number 5 in the nation and maybe number 15 in the nation in 2 different events? Or another athlete who's ranked number 1, number 3, and number 8 in 3 events? If you're comparing them within the same class, it's pretty simple to know which one you want more. That is why they signed the top recruit in the SCA Top 10 for the class of 2024. And it's also why their conference rival signed recruits numbers 2, 3, and 4. Yes, all 3 of them still from the SCA Top 10. They've all proven to be basically the best in the nation in more than one event. And that is what you have to do if you really want to be a 5-star recruit. And it's also true that most of the 5-stars are going to want to go to the same schools in the same conferences. So when there's more than 300 D1 programs that compete in track and field, most of them already know they're not getting any 5-stars on their team. So if you don't fit the description of a 5-star recruit, you still probably have a whole bunch of options to get recruited in D1 anyway. There can only be one national champion in any given event, but there's over 30 conference champions in those same events every single season, whether you are a 5-star or not, or if the SEC is recruiting you or not. The only thing that matters is that you find a coach who is committed to helping you reach your full potential. Parker Valby was technically only a 4-star recruit when she left high school, albeit she was also on the higher end. And she's now a multiple-time NCAA champion, and she's broken a bunch of records along the way. But Caleb Walker was only a high-level 2-star recruit when he came out of high school. But now, he is an NCAA All-American, and the silver medalist indoors in the 60-meter dash. Even Salif Mane was a baseline 3-star recruit at the end of his junior year, which is probably why he committed to Fairleigh Dickinson University. Yes, it's actually in D1, but he is now an NCAA first-team All-American, even if you don't know which school he competes for, and he's done it more than once. Rankings don't mean anything after the gun goes off in college. They won't run the races for you, and they definitely won't win you a national title. But they do make a big difference on who commits to what colleges and why. After all, college coaches need to go off of something to make a decision on who they're going to give the money to. If you know anything about high school distance running, then you know that Drew Griffith is legit. But he was only a low 4-star recruit at the end of his junior year. He's now committed to run for Notre Dame. And since his senior season started, he has won a whole bunch of races against the best high school boys in the entire nation. For that reason, he has climbed up my national rankings as a result. And he might even finish the year as a 5-star recruit. But whether he does or does not is really besides the point, because once he gets to the college level, he's going to have to run even faster if he wants to win much of anything. So no matter what your ranking is, from 2-star all the way up to 5-star, going D1 is a privilege. And everybody at that level was somebody special wherever they came from. So what does matter is finding a coach who believes in you and is committed to helping you compete at the highest levels in their uniform. Because take it from me, your old high school PRs won't help you at all in any event that you compete in the NCAA. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.